In this video, we'll look at some practice questions related to the passage on main ideas. I'm on page 4 of my notebook, and I have pasted in this set of questions, so you don't have to copy all that. Just paste it in there. And let me be sure I did the table of contents, so I just want to make sure I'm going back to cover that. So this set of questions relates to the passage and the exercise we did on page 5. Number 1, which of these gives the meaning of marsupial? So I can look back over here. Marsupial means they carry their babies in a pouch. So my choices are A, a kangaroo, B, a baby kangaroo, C, an animal that carries a baby in a pouch, or D, a kangaroo with a baby. The only one of those choices that mentions pouch is C. And a kangaroo is not the only marsupial. It's one marsupial, but there are other animals that have the pouch. Kangaroo is just one of those. We'll learn about another one a little bit later on in the reading workbook. Number 2, explain how, this is one of those how questions, a long tail helps a kangaroo. So I can look back over here. I actually used it as a why, but it doesn't matter. We wrote that a long tail helps with balance. And let me just see what the passage says. They use their strong tails to balance while hopping. So that's the answer I want. I always want to take that answer from the text. And I'll use a complete sentence. They use their long tail to help keep their balance. And this is more than one kangaroo, so let's make it more than one tail. They use their long tails to help their balance while they hop. That tail almost acts as a third leg to help them stay upright and supported while they hop. Number 3, which of these would a kangaroo not eat? Well, we know that kangaroos eat grass and plants. They're herbivores. So which one of these is not a grass or plant? We have grass, leaves, clover, and lizards. They are not meat eaters, so they would not be interested in eating a lizard. What is a baby kangaroo called? A baby kangaroo. When a baby kangaroo called a joey is born. So baby kangaroos are called joeys. My other choices are wallaby and marsupial. Where do kangaroos live in nature? They sometimes live at zoos, but in nature, in their wild habitat, where do they live? They live in Australia. And this is the name of a country. It's also a continent, so we need to capitalize Australia. On this one, it asks us to use its or its in each blank. So let's review. Its, with an apostrophe, is a contraction for it is. When you contract or make shorter, two words, you use the apostrophe where you are dropping out letters. So when you put those two words together, you're using that apostrophe to replace the I. It's, it is. Another example of that would be in the word cannot, and we contract that into can't. So which letters are we losing? Those two, we replace those with an apostrophe. So anywhere that I use it's with an apostrophe, I should be able to use it is. The other form of it's, without the apostrophe, means belonging to it. For example, kangaroo's tail. I could substitute the pronoun it for the kangaroo. This looks like it would be the correct way to do it. But remember what that apostrophe means in an it's. If I leave it like that, it's going to be its. And I'm trying to get rid of that red line. It's back again. This is not correct. It apostrophe S, even though kangaroos has the apostrophe. In this one, the one you want is its. We do not want the contraction. So kangaroo's tail, its tail, belonging to it. And we're supposed to use the correct form of its in each blank. A kangaroo lives in its natural habitat. So could we say this? A kangaroo lives in its natural habitat. No, that does not make sense, so we would use this form. The possessive. Natural habitat belongs to the kangaroo. A kangaroo lives in its natural habitat in wide, open spaces. It's not unusual to see kangaroos in pairs and groups. This is the beginning of a sentence, so I'll capitalize. Does this make sense? It is not unusual. Yes, this one is the contracted form of its, because I'm saying it is not unusual to see kangaroos in pairs and groups, and a kangaroo carries its newborn baby in a pouch. So could I say it is newborn baby, or is this possession? The baby belongs to the kangaroo. So it's this form of its. A kangaroo uses its strong legs. The legs belong to the kangaroo. So it's the possessive form. For hopping, and its long tail for balance. The tail belongs to the kangaroo. When it's threatened, when it is threatened. So this is not the possessive form, it's the contracted form. When it is threatened, a kangaroo uses its strong arms, the arms belong to the kangaroo, for punching and slapping. A kangaroo is sometimes mistaken for its cousin in the wild. Cousin belongs to the kangaroo, and that cousin is called the wallaby. It's sometimes hard to tell the two animals apart. It is sometimes hard to tell the two animals apart, so we want the contracted form here. It's sometimes hard. And I'm capitalizing because it's the first word of the sentence. If you want to see something very interesting, go to YouTube and look for kangaroo fights. Kangaroos, I think I've heard in my lifetime that kangaroos like to fight with each other, and they are amazingly strong. So if you're interested in this, take a look at that. A kangaroo fight on YouTube. Okay, this is good practice for using not only your reading passage over here, but also the notes we took and some grammar that we've learned. Grammar is always important, so we always need to remember those rules in everything we do.